Hello, Caroline. Are you there? Please reply if you're reading this. I wanted to ask you something. You married my son 2 years ago and came to live with us, but you're still working. Why is that? When are you going to quit that silly job of yours? You're going to be 30 in a few months, you know, right? You also know that my husband runs a company and someone has to take over that company after your husband. I suggest you start getting busy bringing a new member to this family, a male heir who will take over the company one day. Have you even put any thought into having a child? Besides, I sure would like to see a grandson soon. Good morning, Mother. I think I mentioned this numerous times, but the person that will take over as the president of your husband's company will be determined on merit. That's how your husband wants it. He's not going to have a family member just take over because this person is a relative. Well, that's all very virtuous and all, but that's not the real world, Caroline. In reality, my husband's company has been run by 3 generations of this family. It's been handed down from father to son for generations, and our company has profited because of it. Merit alone will not suffice. There is a little thing called tradition, which you seem to be lacking, Caroline. It has already been decided that your husband James will eventually take over as the next company president, and after him, his son, my grandson. Yes, well, tradition is all very good and all, but times have changed, Mother. I'm not saying it's wrong. If the person taking over is competent, whether that be James or someone else, I'm all for it. Will you stop contradicting me? You always find a way to refute everything I say. My husband has informed me that you are a very competent and reliable employee, but your competence and this issue are completely different. You are in no position to determine company policy. You're just another employee. I suggest you keep your nose out of it. I think that applies to you more than it does to me, don't you think? Pardon me? The person that will be promoted to that position concerns all the employees, and that person's decisions affect us all. You've never in your life worked at your husband's company. It seems obvious that it's you that has no right to decide who becomes the next company president or any other position. How dare you? How could you say that? I'm this company president's wife, for God's sakes. I certainly do have the right. Yes, I'm quite aware of that, but that makes no difference whatsoever. Makes no difference? Have you lost your mind, Caroline? I'm in possession of all my faculties, thank you. Do you really think that just because you're the president's wife that you can make such an important decision? Well, I have the right to. Just doesn't seem logical to me is all. This is getting nowhere. All you have to do is just stop complaining and work on giving us a grandson so that someday he will be able to take over this company and continue this long-established custom. If you have time to spurt such nonsense, I suggest you use your time more wisely by having a child. Right now, I'm giving my work priority above all, and I've talked long and hard about this with Jim. Pardon me? I know you complain to Jim about this matter all the time, and he gets irritated because you're so bullheaded about it. But could you not take that frustration out on me? I have other things to worry about. Jim said that? I wasn't trying to be difficult or anything. Just so you know, Mother, Jim is sitting right next to me and seeing this entire conversation. What? Are you serious? Why didn't you say so before? You better be ready for a line text from him later on, and it won't be a very pleasant one, I can tell you that. You tricked me into this, didn't you? You had him sit down and witness this conversation. How could you? Even if I denied such an absurd allegation, you wouldn't believe me, so what can I say? This is getting really exasperating, Mother. I really have to go. Goodbye. Caroline, are you seeing this? Answer me! I want you to come home right away and do a little cleaning. The place is a total mess. You married into this family and you live in this house. You have an obligation to do some of the chores. Sorry, Mother, I'm still at work and I have to do some overtime tonight. Got a project to finish up. Sorry. Are you serious? My husband left his position as president to become the chairman. There is not much time left for you to get to work conceiving a child. And why are you still working? There's no need. I want you to resign and stay home and fulfill your role as a wife. Excuse me? You want me to be an obedient little housewife, is that it? Are you all right, Mother? You know I'm not the type. Like I said, I give my work priority above all. Are you still going on about that? Anyways, Jim did the cleaning as soon as he got home earlier. He just sent me a line saying that he finished. Wait, you're having James clean the house? And don't tell me he's also cooking. Yes, sometimes, anyways. We're not even living together anymore. How could you even know the place is a mess? We both share household chores. When he's busy, I do the cleaning and cooking. That's what we agreed on. I don't need you telling us what to do. Don't tell me you want me to come to your house and clean too. Is that what you're getting at? Is that what a housewife has to do? This sounds like your typical mother-in-law pestering her son's wife kind of scenario, like in some daytime soap opera. We didn't opt to live near you guys just so you would pester us day and night. How could you say that? It's a mother's duty to look after her son and, in extension, his wife, to pass the experiences of being the wife of a company president. I'm sorry, Mother, but before you start with all the same old hot air again, I received permission from Jim to respond however I saw fit, just so you're aware. Jim gave you permission? And what's this about hot air? Also, I'm going to be pretty busy with this current project, so if you send me any messages that sound like the same old spiel, well, I'm simply not going to respond. Wait, what? So you're just going to ignore me, is that it? Yes, I already got Jim's permission to do it. Jim would never allow such a thing. I better have a talk with him about this nonsense. I really can't have you interfering with my work. We're in a crucial phase now, so I would appreciate your cooperation, Mother. You really know how to anger someone, Caroline. Yeah, well, whatever. How could you just ignore your mother-in-law, for Christ's sake? Always giving your work priority and shunning your responsibilities at home. What kind of a wife are you, anyway? I will make you listen and obey me. Mark my words, Caroline. You'll regret talking to me that way. Mother, have you gone totally nuts? Why did you go into our house without permission? And why did you change the locks? How do you expect us to get in? Are you trying to lock us out of our own home? Do you realize what you're doing, Mother? And besides, where the hell did you get a spare key? I never gave you one, and neither did Jim. I simply took my son's key and had a spare made down at the mall. Hold on a second, Mother. You had a spare made without us knowing? Yes, when he visited us last month, I saw his key case on the kitchen table. And when Jim and my husband were watching that football game, I drove down to the mall and had a spare made. He never knew it was missing. You just went and made a spare key to our house? For what, may I ask? Yes, that's because you two would never give me one. Jim promised he would when you first moved in. If I don't have a spare, how am I supposed to go over there and check the place and see that you're doing your duty properly? Mother, do I really have to explain? Stop right there, Caroline. If you want to enter this house again, I suggest you admit that you were wrong and obey my every demand. I want you to pledge that you will never disobey me, the mother of your husband, the current company chairman. And you mustn't forget that I'm the current president's mother. I want your solemn oath that you will never, ever again defy or refuse to obey your mother-in-law. I want your word or you're not entering this house. Wait a second. Did you just say the current president's mother? I'm not sure I understand you. That's right. Why is it so surprising? Just leave company matters to the current president. That would be my son, and focus on conceiving a child. You're the president's wife. There's no reason for you to work. Do as I say, Caroline, or there will be consequences. If you're so dedicated to your job, well, you can continue, but that means you'll have to divorce my son. And that's final. Oh, okay. So that's what you want me to do, huh? You want me to just resign from this company? Am I understanding you correctly, Mother? That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. Have you finally gotten that through your little head? There are plenty of other employees that can take your place. That's what a company is for. You work, and when your time comes, you retire to raise a family. It's the normal course of things. Simply just resign and focus on bringing us a grandson. That's your role. It's about time you learned that, Caroline. Oh, Okay, Mother. That means we'll just have to see the demise of this company, I suppose. You're joking, right? The company won't go under just because one of its employees resigns. You hold yourself in too much regard, my dear. Mother, you never fail to astound me. I really thought you had the company's survival in mind and that you were serious in your concern regarding who would take over as president, but then you tell me that I have to resign, and not for the good of the company, but to have a baby. What are you trying to say, Caroline? My concern for the company and the family are clear-cut and logical. There is nothing irrational or unjustifiable about what I'm saying. Oh, but it is completely irrational in my opinion. Okay, so if you think what I'm saying is so irrational, then explain that to me. Which part of it is it that you find so unreasonable? Like I said, you attach too much importance to yourself. It embarrasses me whenever you applaud yourself, extolling the virtues of your own work all the time. I mean, how arrogant do you have to be to say the company will go bankrupt if you quit? My God, the audacity! Mother, I hate to tell you this, but I'm the new president of the company. Say again? What did you just say? I said, I'm the new president of the company. I recently took over. I'm surprised you didn't know. Stop joking around, Caroline. I'm serious. This is no laughing matter. This concerns the future of our family. The next president has already been determined, ever since he was born, as a matter of fact. How could he give that position to you, please? Then why don't you ask your husband or contact Jim right now and ask him? They will both tell you the same thing. Or you could even call the office and every employee there will tell you the same thing. This is some kind of prank, right? And what about James? What's James going to do? If he's not president, is he just a regular employee? That can't be. Jim's set to resign by the end of next month. Again, I'm surprised you didn't know. Resign? You're saying he's going to quit the company? Yes, he says he has other objectives, so for now he'll work freelance and see how things go. Freelance? Meaning he's not even going to be employed by a company? Yes, for a while, I guess, after which he says he will eventually start his own company. Start his own company? But why can't he just take over this company? Why would he start his own? Don't tell me you don't even know about that. I thought for sure you would know that. I didn't realize there was such a lack of communication in your family. Jim said that when he went to visit last time, he brought it up several times. He did? I never... He told me that your husband and Jim discussed this possibly years ago. Jim wanted his advice. After all, your husband built his company from scratch. Who better to get advice from, right? Huh? Really? And this was all before Jim and I got married. Neither my husband nor Jim mentioned anything. Oh, and as a side note, as for being selected as president of the company, both Jim and his father were explicit in their decision that I keep my business matters separate from my personal ones, meaning even if I became president, it would not affect our personal lives. And this decision does not mean that because Jim was not selected as president that I stole it from him. Please don't get that idea. Why wasn't I told about this? This is important. My husband nor Jim gave any clue as to what was going on. Caroline, answer me right this second. Why is my husband divorcing me? What did I do that was so wrong? Ever since you arrived, this family has gone totally haywire. You ruined our family, Caroline. And why did Jim throw away the opportunity to become the president of his own family business? And now he's a freelancer? Why? And my husband, he didn't lift a finger to stop him. As a matter of fact, he encouraged him to quit and become a freelancer. What has gotten into everyone? You put a jinx on this family, Caroline. But the worst was yet to come. They appointed you as the next president of our company? How did you manage to dupe everyone? And now my husband wants a divorce? This is like some nightmare. Well, for one thing, you came barging into the offices of our company announcing to everyone of your status as the president's wife, screaming and demanding that your son be appointed president and that after him, our non-existent son, your grandson, be in line to take over after him. That didn't go over too well, especially with your husband. He was humiliated in front of all of his employees. Well, I only did that to protect our... If that security guard hadn't stopped you, you were going to come barging into my office and make a scene, weren't you? But your actions were futile, a complete waste of time. Did you really think that you would be able to change policy or any decision the company makes? You have zero authority to make such demands. But I'm the president's wife! It doesn't matter, Mother. I'm sure your husband told you many times about his frustration with the old traditions. That generation after generation you select a family member as president. It just didn't sit right with him. He wanted a more merit-based system. He believed a more equal and fair playing field would allow the company to grow beyond its wildest dreams, instead of clinging to old traditions. No, he never meant those things. He was always a family man, always followed tradition. Please, Caroline, talk to my husband and ask him to rescind this silly divorce. He doesn't need to do this. I'll change. Please convince him. I really can't do that, Mother. It's really not my concern. Why? Why can't you at least do this little favor for me? Please, Mother, work it out yourself. I have nothing whatsoever to do with your marriage. It's kind of late. I have to get some sleep. Goodbye. Please, Caroline, help me. Okay, I'll give you my blessing. How's that? I give you my blessing that you become the next president. Will you then help me in return? And about who will take over after you, well, I'll leave that up to you and James. You two can make that final decision. I won't interfere at all. What do you say, Caroline? Please, please convince my husband to think it over. Please. Caroline, are you still there? Please don't cut me off. Please, Caroline, I need your help. Actually, my father-in-law told her that he was considering me as the next president, but she just wouldn't listen. Her mind just seemed to shut down whenever he brought up the subject. She couldn't accept the fact. The only thing that was on her mind was that her son was destined to become the next president, and that the wife would have to stay at home and have babies. Eventually, I was appointed as the next president, but that fact never entered my mother-in-law's mind in the slightest. Her son was the only person in the world that would be appointed, and that was that. There was no convincing her. She was so programmed by her self-delusions, a form of self-hypnosis if you ask me. It was probably in that state of mind that made her barge into the office and cause the embarrassing scene in front of all those employees. My father-in-law was so infuriated by the incident that he began to question why he was even married to her, which eventually led him to file for divorce. After the divorce went through, she received a comfortable settlement and returned to her grandparents' home back east. But her spendthrift ways as the president's wife never really waned, and her savings quickly diminished. Her grandparents were worried that she would next target their meager savings and pension and quickly cut ties with her. I heard she was living all alone in some beat-up apartment downtown doing various part-time jobs to make ends meet.
Hello, Mateo. Your lunchbox was made by your wife again today, right? I'll eat it for you.
Sorry, but I already ate it.
What? What do you mean you already ate it? But lunch break just started.
I told our department head that you were stealing my lunchboxes these last few days, and he let me take my lunch break 15 minutes earlier than anyone else.
What? You told our manager? But I was so looking forward to your lunch today.
Please stop messing around, Stella. Why do you always try to take my lunchbox?
Because I don't bring my own lunchbox.
There's a cafeteria in the office, and there's even a convenience store that's only a minute walk from here.
It's such a hassle. And besides, it costs money, right?
That's not my problem.
What? You're being so mean, Mateo. I've told you this several times already, but I'm a single mother and have 3 children. I have to take care of them, so I need to save money and time in whatever way I can. Don't you get it? That's why I always take your lunchbox. We need to help each other in whatever way we can.
Alright, but why always me then? It still wouldn't be okay if you did this to another person, though.
That's simple. Because your wife makes the best lunchboxes around here. You see, I helped myself for a sampling of everyone's lunchboxes on my first day here, and your wife's food was by far the best.
Okay. I'll tell her you like her food, I guess, but when have you ever helped me, Stella?
Don't I always help you out with work? Oh, and don't tell her that I liked her food.
Alright. But don't you always just make a mess and I have to take care of it by doing overtime?
Come on. You're being so mean, Mateo. I can't help it if I make a few mistakes after all. I've only been here for a few weeks.
Anyways, we're getting off topic. The lunchbox I bring to work is something that my wife made for me. She doesn't make these so you can eat them, Stella.
I know. Why not just ask your wife to make a lunchbox for me as well? That way I won't have to take yours anymore. Come on, help me save some time and money. It's called cooperation, Mateo.
This isn't cooperation, so no. This is called you stealing my lunchbox.
What? You're so mean, Mateo.
Besides, I've already finished eating today.
But then what am I supposed to eat for lunch?
You're not a child, so figure it out yourself. Didn't you at least bring your wallet with you? Go buy a sandwich or something.
I already told you. I'm the single mother of 3 children, so I have to save time and money in whatever way possible. Buying a sandwich will cost me precious money. Since you didn't give me your lunchbox today, go buy me something at the cafeteria.
Huh? No, I'm not going to buy you anything at the cafeteria. Please don't contact me again about stuff unrelated to work. Bye.
What? You're not going to buy me anything at the cafeteria? You're so stingy, Mateo. I bet you wouldn't say that to your wife.
Hi, Rena. I just got out of the office and I'm on the train now.
Got it. You were able to go home at the time you were supposed to today, I see.
Yep. I decided that I wouldn't do overtime today no matter what. I was able to finish all my work right as I was supposed to leave.
Thanks for your hard work. That reminds me, were you able to eat your lunchbox today? I know that this weirdo from work's been stealing your lunchboxes recently.
Yep. Stella wasn't able to steal my lunchbox today. I spoke with my manager and told him about the situation, and he let me take my lunch break 15 minutes earlier than everyone else.
I see. That's good then. But didn't the manager try to stop Stella from stealing the lunchboxes or anything?
He did. He gave Stella a warning, but judging by these texts she's been sending me, it had no effect on her. Ugh. I can't just leave for my lunch break 15 minutes earlier than everyone else every day from now on. It's going to be inconvenient for work. Not to mention that Stella will probably just find another person to steal lunchboxes from.
I understand. So, you need to do something about the root of the problem, right? But still, she really seems to love those lunchboxes I make. This Stella is a part-time worker who joined the company a month ago, and is the single mother for 3 children, right? And it all started when you were eating lunch at the cafeteria with your colleagues, when she suddenly just took an egg roll from your lunchbox without warning?
Yeah, that happened a week ago. Suddenly, a hand reached out from behind me and stole my egg roll. It was so sudden I didn't even have time to stop her.
Wow. I can't believe those are the actions of a grown adult.
Yeah, I can't believe it either. So the day after that, she stole my lunchbox, which I put in the refrigerator. The next day, I put it in my desk with some ice packs instead so she wouldn't steal it. She still managed to take it from me while I was gone. I had gone to the toilet for a bit before our lunch break, and it was gone when I returned. This was yesterday, but today I was finally able to eat my lunch thanks to my manager letting me go on my lunch break early.
Well, she seems very determined. I guess she just really likes my cooking a lot. But I feel like she no longer wants to eat your lunchbox, but is finding pleasure in the act of stealing itself.
So that's what you think too? I think she just finds this whole situation amusing and enjoys stealing my lunchboxes, kind of like a bully from school. I wonder if there's any good solution to this.
I think the easiest thing would be to just not bring lunchboxes anymore.
I guess that's an option, but we should make that the last resort when nothing else works. It'll make me feel like we lost to her, you know?
Yep, I agree. I always loved cooking, and it was always my dream to one day be able to make lunchboxes for my husband. I don't want it to end with me not making you lunchboxes anymore. Am I just being selfish here?
No, not at all. I feel the same way. I'm not going to let her ruin my time of relaxation and enjoyment, eating the lunch my wife made for me no matter what. Anyways, I think I'll try talking to our manager again tomorrow.
Yep, I'm counting on you. Make sure she gets what she deserves.
How are you feeling, Rena?
Oh, hi, Mateo. It hurts a bit still, but I feel better than I did in the morning thanks to those pills. Sorry I'm not able to make you a lunchbox today. To think I was so excited to make you a lunchbox yesterday.
It's fine. Don't bother about it. You'll have only gotten worse if you pushed yourself too hard and made me a lunchbox.
You're right, thanks.
I think I'll go home in the afternoon today.
But isn't that going to set you back at work?
Nah, don't worry about it. Anyways, your mother came to see you today because she didn't have work, right? They're going to be leaving for a trip this weekend, so she'll probably have to leave early today for preparation.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm not that busy with work right now, so it's not going to be that big of an inconvenience if I leave home early today. Even my manager said that I could leave early so I could check on my wife. He's even letting me text you while I'm at work.
I see. If that's the case, then I'll take you up on your offer.
Alright. I'll go home as soon as I fill out the necessary papers.
Yep. Thanks, Mateo. Hi, Mateo. Where's my lunchbox for today? Where did you hide it? Tell me.
I don't have a lunchbox today.
Huh? Why not?
My wife wasn't able to make me a lunchbox today because she's sick.
Huh? Just because she's sick, she doesn't make a lunchbox anymore? This wife of yours is useless, Mateo. Then what am I supposed to eat? I'm going to have nothing to eat for lunch again because of you. This day for sure, I'm going to make you buy me lunch at the cafeteria.
Don't you dare insult my wife like that. I don't care if you got nothing to eat for lunch. I told you to figure it out yourself, alright? Today was a half day for me, and I'm currently on my way home. So no, I'm not going to buy you anything at the cafeteria either.
Huh? Why did you go home?
I'm worried about my wife, so I decided to take a leave.
What? Seriously? Your wife can't take care of herself or something?
I'm sorry, but goodbye.
Jesus. Both you and your wife are useless, it seems. Hey, Mateo. What's this lunchbox your wife made for me today? Did she want to bully me or something? So rude.
Yes? What is it you want now, Stella?
Hold on. Don't tell me that the lunchboxes up until now were made using frozen foods, and for some reason your wife, who's terrible at cooking, decided to make it from scratch today.
I'll ask you again. What in the world are you talking about?
I'm talking about today's lunchbox. The one that was underneath your desk.
I really don't understand what you're saying right now, Stella.
I said, I ate the lunchbox your wife made for you today, but the food tasted bad for some reason.
Huh?
Seriously, so that's what bad food tastes like. Are you sure your wife's taste buds are okay? What in the world were those condiments she put in there?
But I plan on eating out for the day since I'm not going to be in the office.
Huh? What do you mean you're not going to be in the office? Then whose lunchbox is this then?
I'm going to go to my clients directly from home and then go home from there as well. Bringing my lunchbox around with me would be a bit inconvenient, don't you think?
Yeah, but there was a lunchbox underneath your desk. Which means that it was the lunchbox your wife made for you, right?
Hold on. I don't think that's my lunchbox, but Rosario's lunchbox. He's the guy who sits next to me.
What? This was Rosario's lunchbox? Why the hell is it under your desk?
I'll explain it to you, but first, is your stomach feeling alright?
Huh? Why are you asking? My stomach feels fine, just thank you.
You see, I just got a text from Rosario earlier. Rosario went to work on Saturday as well, and since the company cafeteria was closed, he brought his own lunchbox. And so he put the lunchbox on the edge of his desk, But apparently he found it distracting, so he put it under my desk instead.
No, but I just ate this lunchbox earlier. I'm not talking about this Saturday, Mateo.
I haven't finished talking yet. It seems Rosario was really upset and forgot to eat lunch. By the time he was supposed to go home, he had forgotten about the lunchbox he put under my desk and went home without it.
So what you're saying is...
Yup. He says he only remembered right before today's lunch break. He said to me, "I know there's a lunchbox under your desk, but it's my lunchbox that I forgot on Saturday. Just leave it, okay?" It seems he was panicking a bit when he contacted me.
What? Why did you just leave something like that under your desk? Why didn't you take care of it in the morning?
I told you, I went to our clients directly from home today, and I'm going to go directly home from there as well. Weren't you listening to a word I said? And it's Rosario's day off today as well, so he couldn't have cleaned it up whether he wanted to or not.
So the lunchbox that I ate was...
Yes, it was Rosario's lunchbox, which he forgot under my desk 2 days ago. You must have thought it was mine, and as usual, tried to steal it.
Wait. Ew, that's disgusting. You just let me eat something like that? Are you trying to kill me or something?
Well, it was Rosario who left his lunchbox there for some reason. But you shouldn't be trying to eat others' lunchboxes in the first place, Stella.
Oh.
What is it?
You had to tell me that story, didn't you? Now my stomach feels strange because of it.
You probably want to go see a doctor.
Where's the fucking toilet? You need to pay me an alimony. 30,000 euros minimum.
Huh? Why in the world do I have to pay you alimony?
Because I was taken away by an ambulance and hospitalized because of you. You caused me a lot of pain and distress.
How in the world is this my fault?
If you had just gone to work as you usually did, this never would have happened. I got out of the hospital yesterday, but I kept vomiting and I had diarrhea too. Pay me both an alimony and the hospitalization expenses. Also, pay me my salary for the days I wasn't able to work. Oh, and pay for my living expenses for a while too.
Apparently you said the same thing to Rosario?
Of course I did. It was also his fault for leaving his lunchbox there. I almost died, you know.
About that. When Rosario found out that I wasn't at the office, he contacted our other colleagues as well about the lunchbox he had forgotten.
Huh? What are you trying to say?
And so one of the other employees tried to throw away the inside of the lunchbox, but that's when you suddenly shoved him aside, shouting, "That's my lunchbox."
I thought that he was trying to steal the lunchbox. That's why I shoved him.
Weren't you trying to steal the lunchbox yourself? And besides, only you would think of doing such a thing. This employee wasn't you after all.
What? Are you calling me a thief or something? I told you already that I'm doing this to save time and money. I'm a single mother that has to take care of 3 children, you know. The least you could do is give me your lunchbox.
But isn't that attitude what got you in the hospital in the first place? I think that one would normally notice if the contents of a lunchbox are 2 days old by how it smells and how it looks. Why did you eat it anyways? Did you seriously not notice it was rotten?
Well, it did kind of stink when I opened it, but I just assumed that your wife's cooking was actually bad, and that everything until now was frozen food.
So you thought up all that, but you didn't consider that it was rotten. That reminds me, I heard that you were fired, Stella.
How in the world did you know that?
There was an announcement in the company chat. I thought that you were only stealing my lunchboxes, but apparently you were stealing some of the company stuff as well.
Are you judging me or something? You don't know what it's like having to raise 3 children on your own. I need to save money in any way that I can.
Yes, I don't know what it's like, but I'm sure it's a lot of work. It doesn't mean that you can steal things, though.
Don't you feel any sort of pity for me? My husband suddenly divorced me and left me with his 3 children, and now I have to take care of them on my own.
That's unfortunate, but no, I don't pity you. Maybe if you hadn't stolen my lunchboxes several days in a row, I would have.
Huh? But I only did that precisely because I was so pitiful.
And I know that you're lying to me when you say that your husband suddenly divorced you and left you with his 3 children. I heard that you actually got divorced with your husband because you cheated on him. But not only that, but the father of your children wasn't him either. And so you weren't able to receive child support from him.
How the hell do you know that?
Your parents came to the office to apologize for your actions. They told everyone at the office about your past.
Seriously? My parents came to the office? Who do they think I am? A child?
Well, it does seem like you can't find something to eat on your own, so... Anyways, your parents gave me some money as an apology for you stealing the lunchbox my wife made me. So please, don't come near me ever again.
Hold on. What about the alimony and the hospitalization fees? The hospitalization fees cost 5,000 euros, and for the alimony, I'm going to make you pay 30,000 euros. And you're going to pay for me and my 3 children's living expenses for the near future. I know. If you're not going to pay me the money, then take responsibility for your actions and marry me. It's a generous offer, right? All you have to do is divorce your current wife and marry me instead. And I'll forget about the alimony and hospitalization fees. All you'd have to do is provide for me and my 3 children.
Are you being serious right now? Why the hell do you think I would want to marry you?
It doesn't matter what you want. You have to pay for what you did to me by marrying me and providing for me and my children.
Absolutely not. Goodbye. I wonder what she was thinking when she told me to marry her. It seems my wife understood, though. My wife was next to me while me and Stella were having this conversation by text. And when Stella told me to marry her, my wife said, I was right all along. I asked her what she meant, and she said that Stella probably fell in love with me, and so stole the lunchboxes that Rena made for me because she viewed my wife as an enemy and rival. I unconsciously grimaced and said, ew, when she told me that. Stella, on the other hand, was forced to go home to her parents along with her 3 children. At a later date, the company asked her to pay for the damages she had caused stealing stuff. It was only 1 month since she had joined the company before she left, but as you can tell from the bill, 50,000 euros, Stella messed up real bad. It seems like she's now working from day to night every day. But since almost all of this goes to her payment of the alimony and damage costs, she has no money to spend on her own appearance. Apparently, she was seen going to work with clothes that looked like they were 30 years old one time.
Hey, Lydia. You know what tomorrow is, right?
You mean how your fiancé is coming to visit for your parents' permission for the wedding?
Yes, my fiancé Loretta will be coming to visit tomorrow. It's a kind of happiness that someone as lovely as you will never be able to achieve. You understand that, right?
Does this mean that I should leave the house while he's here because I'm going to ruin your happiness?
No, that's not what I meant, stupid. It's going to be a problem if you're not here when he comes.
Oh, I see.
You were always the kind of person who just couldn't get what others were trying to tell them.
I'm sorry? What do you mean by that?
So, you understand now, right? We're going to have problems if you're not here.
Sorry, but I don't quite understand what you're trying to tell me. What do you want me to do when he comes?
Huh? You really are an idiot, Lydia. Fine. I'll tell you, so listen up. You're my sister by law, but you're only my half-sister by blood, since we have different fathers, right? You're just some random kid that came along with Mom when our parents got married. You're only my half-sister, so that means you're basically just my servant. The only reason you get to live here is because Mom and Dad are kind. Treat my fiancé like your master like you do with me, alright?
Your servant? I honestly don't know what I did to deserve this kind of treatment.
Huh? What did you just say? Oh, you think you don't deserve this, do you? People aren't born equal, Lydia. I was your master, and you were my servant ever since I was born. Don't you dare talk to me like that, or I'll make you sleep in the terrace again. So, do you understand now that your place in this house is that of a servant?
Yes, but I already told you several times that if I really am that much of a bother to you, I'll leave. And it doesn't really feel like you guys want me here anyways, so...
Huh? Do you even understand what you're saying right now? I just said that your place in this house was that of a servant. You can't leave unless we say you can leave, alright? Don't you realize that if you leave, then we won't have a servant anymore? You're the only one I can get to work for free. Don't you understand even that, you dumbass?
If you understood your own position, you would never even think of saying anything like that. Jesus, are you mentally disabled or something?
Anyways, I should be at home when your fiance comes tomorrow, right?
Yes. Oh, but once you give Loretta the snacks, return to the kitchen immediately, okay? He's coming here to greet my family, so it'll be a problem if you're there as well. You're a servant, right? So you need to act like one and do your best not to be a bother to us, because we're letting you live here. It would be unnatural if you were there while he was greeting my parents. Do I even need to tell you this?
Fine.
Hi, Loretto. You're on your way to our house, right? I'm so excited you're finally going to meet my parents.
Hello, Daria. I just got onto the train.
Alright.
I'm excited too, but it still makes me really nervous knowing that I have to greet your parents and ask permission for our marriage once I get there. I'm 2 years younger than you, so they might think that I'd be unreliable as a husband or something.
It's alright. There's no need to get nervous. My mom and dad are sure to agree with our wedding. After all, you are an amazing guy who's also going to be the CEO of our company soon.
Yeah, but I'm really not as amazing as you think. I'm just a regular guy whose dad happens to be a CEO.
That's completely untrue. You're the smartest, kindest, handsomest person I know. Don't worry, they're going to love you. I already told them about you, and they said they can't wait to meet you. Oh, and one more thing. You see, there's this strange woman that lives in our house, and she's kind of our maid.
A strange woman?
Yeah, a maid or a servant of sorts.
A servant? What do you mean by strange, though?
Well, she's a bit socially awkward, you see. So don't mind if she does anything strange, alright? A lot of things happened in her childhood, and now we're letting her live with us. We make her do all the housework you see in exchange.
I get it. She's one of those living maids then.
Yes, that's exactly what I had in mind. She'll probably go in the kitchen when she brings out the sweets and tea, but you don't need to bother yourself with her, alright?
Is that so? Alright. Hello, Daria. Thanks for inviting me to your house today.
Yup, no problem, Loretto. I had a great time. Thanks for coming. Oh, and I told you that my mom and dad would agree to our wedding. They loved you.
Oh, yeah, I guess. They seemed especially interested in how my dad was a CEO and whether I would be a CEO too.
Don't mind them. They're just excited their daughter is going to marry such a promising young man as yourself. Alright, next we need to decide where we're going to have our wedding. When's the next time we can meet to discuss?
There's something I want to ask you first.
What is it?
That live-in maid of yours is named Lydia, right?
Huh? Oh, yeah. That's what my mom called her, I think. What about our servant, though? I told you not to bother yourself with her, didn't I? Did she do anything strange to you? Because if she did, I'll make sure to teach her a lesson, alright?
Huh? What do you mean by teach her a lesson? Never mind. That's not what I wanted to ask you about. You told me that she was your servant, right? But isn't she actually your sister?
Huh? How do you know that?
You see, one of my relatives once knew a person named Lydia.
Wow, what a coincidence. What did this relative of yours tell you exactly?
I heard from this relative that Lydia's mother got custody of her when her parents got divorced, but then her mother got married with another man 1 year later. A few years after that, a child, 10 years younger than Lydia, was born between the two of them.
I never knew Lydia had any such acquaintances. She's homeschooled, you see, and we don't let her out of the house that much.
So you really do treat her like a servant, huh? Anyways, this servant of yours seems to be about 10 years older than you. Not only that, but your mother's name is also the same name I heard from my relative. Also, she doesn't look like your father, while you do. All this points to the fact that this servant of yours is actually the same Lydia that my a relative told me about. Tell me, why are you treating your own sister like your servant?
Hold on. I know it sounds bad if you think of it like that, but that woman is just a servant in our family, so I don't consider her as my own sister. There's no point in sympathizing with her. She doesn't have any connections to my father, the head of the family, which means that it's only natural that she's ostracized from the family like this. Which means that it's alright if you treat her like your servant as well, Loretto. Come on, there's no need to bother yourself over such a lowly being.
I see. So that's how you treat your half-sister, like your own servant. You disgust me, Daria.
What? I really don't understand why you're making such a big deal out of this, Loretto. It's just the way things are. People are born unequal, you know. She was meant to be my servant and I her master ever since I was born. I mean, it can't be helped, don't you think?
Fine. I've made my decision. I'm canceling the marriage.
What? Why?
Because I finally realized the kind of person that you really are, Daria. I can't believe it took me this long to notice. Probably the only reason you approached me in the first place was because you knew that I was the son of a CEO. Am I right? We need to meet sometime soon to make this marriage cancellation official.
Huh? What are you talking about, Loretto? I love you for who you are, not because your father is a CEO. Why don't we just calm down first and talk things through? Then you'll understand that you're getting mad over nothing.
To think that you don't see anything wrong with what you're doing to your sister. Honestly, you scare me just as much as you disgust me, Daria. We're getting divorced and I'm not going to change my mind anymore. We'll invite both our parents and also your sister to the meeting.
What the hell? Why are you suddenly canceling the marriage after I told you about our servant? I haven't even met your parents yet. I know, let me talk to them first. Surely they'll be able to talk some sense into you.
Owen, you'll get to talk to them soon enough, and I assure you, they're going to be just as mad as me, if not more. Sorry, but I just can't marry someone that treats her own sister like this.
What in the world are you talking about? What, you don't want us to have a servant or something? And how are you so sure that your parents are going to agree with you in the first place? You're the one who is being unreasonable here, not me.
You'll understand as soon as your parents meet my father. Well then, I'll contact you at a later date. I need some time to think right now.
Loretto, are we seriously not going to get married anymore? That bitch must have said something to you, didn't she? That's it. I've had enough of her. Lydia, answer, you bitch. What sort of lies did you tell my fiancé?
Huh? What are you talking about?
My marriage just got cancelled because of you.
What?
What in the world did you do?
But I didn't do anything.
Fucking liar.
Daria? At least tell me what happened with you.
Shut up. You don't get to talk to me like that. You're just my servant. Just leave.
Huh? Are you sure? I thought that if I left, no one was going to do the housework anymore.
I don't care about that anymore. Leave our house by today. Leave. I never want to see you in your ugly face again.
Is this Lydia? Good evening. This is Daria's fiance who came to your house to visit today. Sorry for surprising you suddenly when I asked for your contact information. I had to approach you when Daria wasn't looking, so I didn't have the time to explain what I wanted to do at that time. Forgive me.
Oh, it's nothing. Sorry I wasn't able to introduce myself properly. So, was there something you wanted to tell me? You looked like you wanted to tell me something whenever our eyes met earlier.
Yes. You see, you look just like someone I know, which is how I found out who you were. But first, there's something I want to ask you just so we can be sure. Is your biological father's name Peppino? And is he from Naples?
Oh, yes, that's correct. How do you know that?
I see. So I guess there's no doubt to it now.
What exactly are you talking about, Loretto? Are you an acquaintance of my father's or something?
Well, I guess you can say that. You see, I'm your brother. Well, half-brother to be exact. We have different mothers, but the same father.
What? Really?
Yes. Come on, didn't you at least think I looked familiar? Well, now that I think about it, I don't blame you. It's been nearly 20 years since you saw your real dad, right?
Yes, my parents got divorced when I was in elementary school. That reminds me. I did hear from my mother a long time ago that my father got remarried. Was that?
Yes, the woman your father married was my mother.
Does this have something to do with why Daria was so mad at me?
So, she did get mad at you. I haven't told Daria about our relationship yet. It's just that when she told me how she treated you like her servant when you were her half-sister, I was disgusted at her and canceled our marriage.
You canceled the marriage over this? So that's why she was so mad.
Did Daria do something to you? That woman.
Yes, she told me to leave the house by today with great ferocity.
What? This is clearly my fault. I'm so sorry. I should have handled this better. I probably should have told her that I was going to cancel the marriage after I talked to you and somehow snuck you out of there.
Oh, no, it's fine actually. I was surprised when she suddenly told me to leave, but I had been wanting to leave myself for a long time. But I never could since I had nowhere else to go to. This was actually a good opportunity for me, since now I guess I have no choice.
But this must be very sudden for you, right? Do you have any plans on where to go? If not, you can come to our house instead.
No, I don't really have any plans, but...
I told our father about how they were treating you like a servant here, and he was just as disgusted as me and said he wanted to help. He really didn't know anything about it. He said that if he had known, he would have done something about it immediately. So let him help you.
Father, it wasn't his fault. You see, my mom completely cut ties with him and moved far away after the divorce, so there was no way for him to know.
Still, he wants to make up for it. I heard that when your parents got divorced, father was in the process of battling an illness, which is why he wasn't able to get custody of you. He says that this time, he's not just going to stand by and watch. My mother agrees to letting you live here as well, so don't worry.
Thank you. It means so much to me to finally have people that care about me.
What they did to you isn't normal, Lydia. You were probably brainwashed by them or something and made to think that it was natural for them to treat you like this. But it's not. What they did to you is disgusting and they deserve to go to hell for it. Anyways, can you come to S Station? Me and father will pick you up by car.
Yes. I think I have barely enough money to get to S Station.
What? Could it be the case that you don't have any money? Jesus, so that's why you found it so hard to leave their house until now. I'm not going to forgive your sister and parents for doing this to you. They're going to pay for what they did.
What are you going to do? And yeah, I don't have any money. It's embarrassing for me to tell you, but my stepfather manages my bank account, and he only gives me 50 euros of allowance each month. With the money I have right now, I thought I would only be able to sleep at an internet cafe for one night, but thankfully I was able to meet you.
Seriously? They were even taking your salary from you? You need to get out of there as quick as possible. Come to S Station quick.
Alright. Thank you again for your help. I think I'll take you up on your offer and live with you guys for the time being.
This can't be happening. Loretto was your half-brother all along?
Yes. It's a small world, I guess. I was so surprised when Loretto told me about it too. But I can't believe you never noticed the similarity between us, though. I mean, last week was the first time I met him, but you've been seeing both of us on a daily basis for quite some time now.
Shut up. You're nothing like Loretto. That's why I never noticed. And I still don't want to cancel the marriage.
Yeah, but wasn't it already made official at today's meeting between the 7 of us? It's not going to change anymore unless you somehow manage to convince Loretto to marry you again, which I seriously doubt.
This is all your fault, Lydia. I should have just made you stay in your room that day. To think that I had laid my hands on a rich man. You ruined it.
Oh, are you talking about how our father runs a company?
Yes. And I heard that Loretto was going to inherit his father's company. I wanted to become the wife of a CEO.
Come on, Daria. Think this through a bit more carefully. It wouldn't have mattered whether you made me stay in my room that day or not.
Huh? What do you mean it wouldn't have mattered? And since when did you talk to me like that?
I'm not your servant anymore, Daria.
You guys made me think otherwise all this time, but I finally realized that what you people did to me all those years was cruelty. You know that Loretto's father is also my biological father already, right?
So what? Just because you're the daughter of a CEO doesn't mean you're better than me, alright?
I never said it did. I don't think he would have let his son marry someone who treated his own daughter like a servant. He would have found out eventually, and the marriage would sure have been cancelled. Not only that, but I heard that my biological parents got divorced because my mom cheated on Dad.
Mom cheated? But she said they got divorced because Dad cheated.
Looks like she lied to both of us. My father said that this other man she cheated on Dad with was your father, the man she married a year after divorce.
Huh?
Do you think that he would want to let his son marry the child born between these two?
What is that even? Why the hell is this happening? I don't deserve this. Hey, money. Now. Give me your salary.
You mean my bank account?
Yes. Dad tried to withdraw the money from your bank account as usual, but he said that he couldn't use the card anymore. This is your doing, isn't it?
Well, it is my doing. I got a new card made and changed the PIN, which means the one your dad has is no longer valid. And?
Huh? What do you mean, and? You've got a big attitude for a servant.
Sorry, but I'm not your servant anymore. Besides, I don't live there anymore, so I don't understand why you guys should be able to manage my bank account.
Yeah, but it's going to be a problem for us. Didn't you think of that? You really are stupid. I mean, I never knew that of the 5,000 euros we earned each month, that 3,200 was from your salary. What even is that? That's not the point.
Oh, your dad only makes 1,800 euros each month? I never knew. That explains a lot of things, I guess.
That's not the point. I'm telling you, we need the money back. Oh, and come back because we need you to do the housework. Ever since you quit being our servant, our house has become a disaster.
Why don't the three of you do the housework? You're the one that told me to leave, right? So you need to at least take responsibility for your own words, alright?
What's with the attitude again? You're just a servant.
Okay, I think I've had enough of this shit. Bye.
Wait, hold on. That's not what I meant. I'm sorry. Why did it come to this? And to think I was set to become the wife of a CEO. But now we can't even get by because Dad only earns 1,800 euros a month. Please just give us some money, Lydia. We're your family, aren't we?
Hello, Lydia. Are you done unpacking your stuff?
Yup, I'm basically done, I guess. That reminds me. I told you about how I received a text from Daria telling me to give her money, right?
Yeah, why? Are you worried about them or something?
I mean, she is my half-sister after all.
You're too kind, Lydia. They treated you like a slave all these years, and you're seriously going to help them? Besides, it won't be good for Daria if you help her now. She needs to learn a lesson. Not just her, but her parents as well. I think it would be for your own good if you just cut ties completely with those people.
I understand. Alright, I've decided. From now on, I'm going to prioritize my happiness.
Yep, I think that's a great idea. Oh, I have an idea. We're going to have a barbecue party at our yard this Sunday, but Mom and Dad say they'd love it if you come as well.
Is it alright if I come, though?
Of course it's alright. We're family after all. You'll come, right?
Okay, I'll come. I'll look forward to it.
Nice. Dad says that he's going to buy some high-grade meat, so it's sure to be delicious.
Wow. Thank you. I was moved by my new family's kindness, so I finally decided to become a new person. I now live in an apartment near Loretto and his parents' house. Sometimes they invite me over to have dinner or just to sleep at their place, and in general, we just get along really well. My old family that I cut ties with, on the other hand. My sister has never worked a day in her life despite being 29. My mother also hasn't worked in at least 30 years, since she's just a housewife. It seems that my stepfather as well has been ruled out of ever getting a promotion and is made to work minimum wage. Trying to do something about the situation, it seems that my sister tried to marry a rich man again and got involved with a celebrity. But apparently this new man was already married, and now not only are they barely making any money, they're now in debt because this new man's wife made Daria pay her an alimony. For some reason, she contacted me once more telling me to do something about our debt, but it was right before I was going to change phone numbers, so I just ignored her.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.